like it's a case of a long time no see, but there you go. Going to do something really super quick and easy today. Oatcakes. Now, believe it or not, I had never made oatcakes up until just a couple of months ago. And honestly, I'm embarrassed about how easy it is, and I've bought them all these years. So we'll just run through the ingredients. 170 grams of just ordinary porridge oats. Now what I've done is I've just put them in a blender for 20 to 30 seconds just to grind them down slightly. As coarse or as soft as you want it to be, as fine or as coarse rather, as you want it to be. So that's 170 grams of porridge oats. We've got 45 grams of butter, which we've already melted. Now I've got 50 mils here of lukewarm water, but I'm not going to add it all at once because it just depends how much water the oats take on board. 35 mils is usually enough, but somewhere between 35 and 50 mils. Half a teaspoon of baking powder and just a pinch of salt. Are you ready for this? Into the bowl, just the same as with your bread, just a bit in the middle. We'll just put our dry ingredients in first. Like I say, just about half a teaspoon. You're just flicking it in. If you want half a teaspoon of salt, fine, if you like things salty, but it's literally just to give it a wee bit of flavour, so to me just a sort of pinch. And then in with your butter, and this is your judging point for how wet it's going to be. Put these all out the road, and we'll just bring it together, and then you can just start gradually, because I mean look already Kenny, you can actually see, you know, the butter, it's taken on a lot of the oats already. So we're probably not going to need the whole 35 mils even. But just in case, you know, if you leave them a bit coarser, they'll take on more water. That's why I'm saying between, around about that. So we'll just start with just a wee bit. Gosh, it must be a while since I've done it. I felt like I was shaking there. Hope everybody's keeping well. We're just, what date are we on, Kenny? The 15th of April. So we're about to come out a wee bit of lockdown in Scotland, so fingers crossed everybody's in the same kind of boat. Again, you're just wanting to know that it's starting to hold. But if you don't feel it's holding, just a wee bit more water. Because your porridge will just soak it up. Yeah, for me now that's probably going to be fine. But this is such an easy dish that even once we get to the next stage, you can actually just add some more water anyway. A wee bit of flour out on the surface just to be bringing it out into, and obviously that'll, if you feel like you've made it a wee bit wet, don't panic, don't worry, because just add a wee bit of flour to it. It's really versatile. Wee bit messy, but that's never stopped us before. We're maybe going to need just a touch more of flour in that. I've maybe overdone the water ever so slightly. Should have left the lid off. There's my teaspoon. You're just working with it. Just folding it in, and maybe made this one too wet. Dashed. Right, that sounds big. I can feel the consistency coming together again. So just start to, you'll see yourself, it's binding. Out the road. Of course you can tell it's a while since I've done it, kind of. Now if you want to use a pin, a rolling pin, feel free. Again, just work it till you've got to this sort of thickness that you like. I like thin oatcakes, but I think Kenny actually prefers them a bit thicker. My dad certainly does. So you just get them to this thickness that you want them to be. And we're going to just leave it about there, I think. And then again, size depends on yourself. In with your cutter. If you feel that they're sticking ever so slightly, then I'm needing new cutters. Remind me, Kenny, we're needing to get new cutters. But you'll see that it's starting. They come away quite simple, and already, sorry darling, already they look like an oatcake. They're not even been in the oven yet. Now, this is where of course you've got the choice. I'm putting these into 180 degrees centigrade, which is about 375 gas mark 4. I will ask you to maybe double check that tonight. I didn't do my checking before I came at it, but 12 to 15 minutes is all these are going to take. So I might just continue doing this just now, and we'll come back just as we're taking them out of the oven. Okay, I'll get cursed here by Kenny because we'd actually switched everything off, where I suddenly thought I should have actually made it clear that you just keep going. You know, you just keep working it, just if it, because you know obviously when you start cutting them you're left with bits, and you just keep going until you've used it all up, and we're going to get 9 good sized ones out of it, and then it's up to yourself. Me, I put this wee bit out to the birds that's left. Cook it first if you like, that's up to yourself. So just like I said, into the oven for 12 to 15 minutes, and this time we'll come back when I take them out. Okay, I'm going to just take them out. Mine took the full 15 minutes, in fact they maybe even got a minute or two longer, but I had done them quite thick today, Kenny's favourite, but you just need to feel them, and you know you'll know that they're hard to the touch. If they're feeling soft, pop them back in. Now, I did them in the middle of the oven. If you want them to be darker, then just do them at the top of the oven, but obviously adjust your times accordingly. So I'm also going to just say, we actually had thought about maybe stopping filming that one when I thought it had got awfully wet. But you know, I just in a split second thought, no, I'm going to just actually put it up because it lets you see just how easy it was to actually rectify it. That's maybe a reason they're slightly paler too, because of the wee bit flour. But they're so versatile, they're so forgiving actually, which is just as well. And then, well, we're none of us perfect, are we? So we've still got our oatcakes. Right, as always, if you like what you see, give a wee bell, a wee tap, and give us a wee subscribe. We got to over 1,000, so thank you everybody. It was so well much appreciated. And if you're not 100% sure, always remember that as soon as these go live, within the hour or so, the recipe will be up in the orkneynews.scot. So there's always a written recipe that you can go back and refer to. So as always at these times of coronavirus, stay safe and thank you very much for watching. Bye.